Rhythm Sprout is a game I only heard about a few days before it came out while searching for which games are coming out soon. I was in the mood for a rhythm game, it caught my eye, so I picked it up blind. Well, mostly. What is Rhythm Sprout? It's a rhythm game, of course, where you play as a sentient onion making your way through stages and a silly comedic story. The first game, as far as I could tell, by a team called Surt Studios, or just Surt. Let's see if this is a sweet and charming onion that has plenty of layers to it, or if it's just a sour onion that will make you cry.
Ogres are like onions.
Now that we got the Shrek references out of the way, let's begin. The story of Rhythm Sprout, you play as Sprout, the chosen tracksuit wearing onion knight, ordered by the royal broccoli King Brock to defend the kingdom from King Sugar Daddy and his army of sugary sweets. Oh, and to find his daughter Princess Cauliflower, who has been missing for like a month. Along the way you will meet a variety of distinct characters, from a farmer carrot to a scarf-touting angry little trio of mushrooms who I genuinely fell in love with and laughed my ass off at first sight, and Ginger. Honestly, between good guys and bad guys, half of the fun of this game is seeing what character will be thrown at you next. It's always a ton of fun to see their design and their personality. Throughout the story, you will find and explore your way through a massive variety of fun locations that you can dance your way through. Every level generally starts off with a brief text-based cutscene to have some character interaction and banter, and the humour will be hit or miss depending on the person. It's a very indie game style, self-aware, not taking anything too seriously style, which can easily go wrong and make me really not like it, but it made me laugh a bunch. And I really appreciate how it actually names things like YouTube or Gilmore Girls instead of just doing the typical way of getting around it like Shoe Tube or the Grillmore Gals or some crap. They're just straight out with it, and that is surprisingly rare for me to see, so I have to appreciate and give marks for that. Overall, not exactly a story for the ages, but it was surprisingly compelling and fun, and had a few little twists and turns as it went on. At one point, I'm not even joking here, and I can't believe I'm saying this game made me feel genuinely sad and sorry for a sentient piece of chocolate who was in the game for like a minute. I don't know how, but I felt weirdly bad for him. My heart cried out a bit, and I've played many games that tried to do that kind of stuff, and I was absolutely fine, but this is the one? How the fuck did they do that? I don't even think I was supposed to take it seriously. So despite it being a silly and cutesy looking game, it can make you feel. Or maybe that was just me. And the humour can get a bit dark and twisted sometimes too, and it's so out of place for the style you can't help but love it. So like I said, not anything groundbreaking or anything, but for a few minutes of story in a rhythm game, it did more than enough and provided some fantastic characters along the way. But on to the more important stuff for a rhythm game. It's not very complicated, it's pretty different than most rhythm games, but also very similar. Yellow notes will be dedicated to the D-pad, pink buttons will be dedicated to the face buttons on the right, and L or R to dodge blue attacks that will come at you. As you do this, you will bounce your way through the level, and along the way more things will be added, like multi-tapping to get more points, Sugar Rush which gives you more points and makes notes hittable with any button, so you don't have to concentrate or change things up as much, and also restores your HP fully. And there's things like trap notes which must be avoided completely. It does a good job of keeping it more complex and engaging as you go on. As I mentioned, you have a HP count, which of course means game over once we hit 0. But every 20 combo heals by 1 HP, and the yellow and pink notes don't take any HP, just the blue. So even if you're not fantastic at these games, you will probably be able to make your way through, even if not getting a high score. Because no matter how many yellow or pink you miss, it's fine. As long as you can get the blue, you're all good. And sometimes in levels, enemies will pop up from cupcakes to ice cream cones to gingerbread men, which is where most of the blue notes that can hurt you come from, and it can result in a surprisingly badass flow between doing the regular yellow and pink notes and bouncing through the level and dodging under floating enemy laser beams. It's hard to explain the feeling. It's hard to explain, but it's just a great feeling with the music hitting just right. And at the end you will be ranked based on probably obvious criteria like combos or how good you hit each note, which will also decide how many stars you will get, with each level having combo and target scores to get more stars, which can be used to unlock more difficult bonus stages, which are absolutely no joke. And also new skins and weapons, which are just fun little cosmetic items. There's also extra modes once you complete each level to spice things up. Beginner mode, which is available at the start of any level, which makes all notes into middle notes that can be hit with any button. Turbo to play it even faster, mirror mode to flip left and right notes, and a randomizer that can be completely random or based on a seed number. And while this might sound and look simple, and in a sense it is, but what it does with that simplicity is not to be underestimated. Just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy. I was expecting a really quick and easy game here, but by level 8 I was already struggling to keep up. Mixing up D-pad pushes and dodges and keeping up with quick changing notes, even with just 2, is no laughing matter. Sometimes even with just 2 buttons I couldn't comprehend how somebody could keep up. And I also appreciate how a lot of the trophy names on the PlayStation are cute little nods to other things, like Gotta Go Fast, Groundhog Day, or Stars. It's just a cute touch. And I already mentioned that every level starts off with a brief little cutscene, but this only applies to the first time you do it. Every time after that you just get right into it, with the story section being an optional thing under it to go through. This should be a fucking standard for every game like this. Every game that starts a level with a cutscene or any text, this should be mandatory. Take note. But let's get into the biggest aspect of a rhythm game, the music. It's all very energetic, fun and satisfying music, but I doubt you really catch yourself humming it anytime unexpectedly. It's not really going to stick with you like a lot of things would, but while you are actually playing, you will most likely be bopping your head and having a pretty great time. My favourites being the Count RL track, Gingerbread House, and Cauliflower Kingdom. These were just a few of my standout tracks. So in conclusion, this game is pretty fun and can be really addictive at times. It's cute, has some awesome energetic music, simplistic controls but does a lot with them to make the game insanely hard at times, maybe too hard. It's hard to tell not being an expert at these kind of games. It has a charming story that keeps you wanting to see more, mostly for the cool characters, and even if I started off nervous about the style of humour, it was actually pretty great. And in its short time, it made me laugh out loud a number of times and even had me laughing pretty damn hard a few times. If there's one thing I have to give the humour in this game, it can really catch you off guard at times. And it has a good amount of post-game content, unlockables and cosmetics. And considering the game is pretty cheap too, I'm really happy I picked this up. And for Surt's first game, again, as far as I can tell at least, it's a pretty great first impression. I will definitely be keeping my eye on what these guys do in the future. I can't wait to see their next game. So, I'm going to give this game a solid 8 out of 10. If I'm being honest, it's kind of a debate for me between a 7 and a 10, but it would definitely be in the very, very high 7s if it was, so 8 just felt more comfortable. It really does all the stuff you would expect a rhythm game to do, and a bit more. I'm not really sure where I'll go from here with this game. I don't know if my skills are high enough to progress to the game's higher challenges, and I kind of wonder if many people will play this, because I feel like some people will be caught off guard by its difficulty. Based on the look of the game, it doesn't look like it would be so hard, and more hardcore rhythm game fans who want a big challenge might not even give it a second look. But like I said, I looked at this and thought, yeah, pretty simple, easy rhythm game. But I hope I'm wrong and some people will check this out. I already feel like it could be one of my highest game experiences of the year, and it could definitely be one of my standout underrated games of the year. Anyway, that is it for Rhythm Sprout. Let me know if you picked this up, if anyone else has played this, whether you went in with high hopes or was completely blind. Gotta say one more time, great job to Surt, especially for the first game. What a high start. Let's hope they can just go up from here, or at the very least, maintain. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. It's good to be back to do a smaller review.